The city of Portland has a big decision to make about one of Portland's oldest and most active performance venues. We're talking about Keller Auditorium, the venerable performance hall built in 1917. The city owns the building while Metro operates it. Keller Auditorium is home to most all of the traveling Broadway shows, including Tina, the musical, playing there right now. However, the Keller needs seismic and other upgrades to extend its life. So later this month, City Council will consider whether to move ahead with replacing or preserving one of Portland's most important performance spaces. A number of entities, including Portland State University, OMSI, the Lloyd Center, and Zidell Yard, are developing proposals to build a brand new performance venue elsewhere in the city, while another group has already developed renderings and a proposal to renovate and upgrade the Keller at its current location. That group is the Halpern Landscape Conservancy. Scott Andrews is co-chair of the Halpern Landscape Conservancy, a co-chair of the Marking Keller Group, and principal broker with Melvin Mark Brokerage. Thank you for joining us on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. The city gave Halpern a grant of $200,000 to look at options for the Keller, as did Metro. Why do you think it should be renovated instead of replaced?
Well, there are several good reasons. First, frankly, it's the right thing to do. It's a 100-year-old structure, and the city of Portland doesn't generally destroy 100-year-old historic structures. Portland City Hall, the Portland Building are good examples of that. The building was the only one left standing after the PDC redevelopment, the South Auditorium District, took place. And frankly, the entire neighborhood was built around it, including the Halpern Fountain, the Keller Fountain across the way, and the Halpern sequence that goes through Lovejoy down to the Source Fountain. So it's kind of the glue that holds that neighborhood together. In addition, it's a very important part of the Portland arts and cultural neighborhoods, from Lincoln Hall to the Schnitz, to the Art Museum, to the Historical Society. It's one of those pieces of that district that's really, really important. The neighborhood itself, as I said, grew up around it, and the private sector has made a huge investment in providing the backbone, the facilities that really support the Keller. There are 6 garages with over 2,000 parking spaces within 6 blocks. And because they're 6 separate parking spaces, you can go to a show and see and park for $6 or $7. In places where there are fewer opportunities, the Moda Center, for example, there are much, much more, $30 or more at some times.
Yeah,
so
parking is at a premium.
It's at a premium. In addition, there are several hundred hotel rooms within 2 blocks, and even more, almost 1,000, I think, within walking distance. You add that to all of the bars and restaurants, it's just a very convenient location. And frankly, for what we've seen of the alternative sites, that infrastructure doesn't exist.
Yeah, this would have an effect on us here at the Coin Tower. We are literally right across the street from Keller Auditorium and the Keller Fountain. So we have an interest in this, from a business standpoint as well.
Sure.
How much would your Keller proposal cost, and who would finance it?
Well, we've done a full analysis, and Hoffman has been part of the team to begin with, so that they've been able to help us with construction estimates. We believe we can do a project at the Keller, full renovation including structural, for a little over $250 million in a 19-month period. 19 months is important because it means that we can steal a little bit out of one season, close the building for a second season, and steal a little bit at the beginning of the third season, so you're really only closed for one season. That includes everything. That includes handicapped access, adjusted main seating areas so that the slope isn't so big that you have a problem getting down to the stage, acoustics, delivery, the backstage amenities, storage, patron facilities, and it even includes both a bar and a restaurant, and a kitchen to go along with it for on the second and third levels.
Well, you talked about it would only have to be closed for a season. The Keller does bring in millions of dollars a year from the Broadway shows that are staged there.
Yep.
Could those shows be staged elsewhere while the Keller is being renovated,
well,
so the city doesn't lose that revenue?
Yes, for the most part of it. But let me finish. The Hoffman also estimated the cost of a new project, which quite frankly would take much longer to both get started and to finish. And they estimate that cost of that at $517 million, and that doesn't include land acquisition. So yes, I do believe, and we have spoken with both opera and ballet in particular. The director, Shane, has had to deal with this in other locations. There are other locations for both of those that work. Ballet needs a big location for the Nutcracker, and that's a big moneymaker for them. But they could live a season. And I would argue, if you're saving $250 million by going that route, could you spend a little bit of money to support our local, civic organizations, entertainment organizations?
What about the Broadway shows?
The Broadway shows are a little bit different in that there aren't any facilities really for them to bring the major shows for a year. But again, as much as I'm going to miss to see those kind of shows for a year, it's only a year. They can bring in smaller shows for the smaller venues. And, it's my least worry. Both opera and ballet are Portland. And New York, frankly, is a moneymaker and a good one for the city. But apples and oranges.
What are the deadlines here? What are we trying to do in terms of being able to get a proper proposal to City Council for them to approve it and then for us to move forward with whatever we choose to do with the Keller?
Right. Well, as I think you alluded earlier, the renovation program is well ahead of the new program. They're still looking at sites. We actually have a design that's based on a city study that was done 5 years ago on the interior, and it brings all the interior and exterior together. Brings the fountain more as part of the entire complex, brings them all together. But I think, I'm sorry.
The question was the deadlines.
Deadlines.
What are we looking
okay.
at?
There we go. We're going to go in front of City Council on September 27th and just present our findings and some suggestions. We had been told, we have a letter that says that the actual decision should be made in spring of 2024. And there are several things that we'd like to do during the in-between time, including doing a full financial analysis of both the costs if you close it as well as the costs of renovating it, and the financial aspects of wages, you name it, the whole gamut, a very deep look at it.
Realistically, when could we see a new Keller? Either a renovated Keller at its current location or a new Keller?
Well, realistically, we could start as soon as 2027 with a renovated Keller. And actually, it could be quicker than that. Much of that time is spent going through design review and permitting. And if the city pushed, I think we could cut down on that period of time. And it would take 19 months from that standpoint, early 2000 of that year. They believe it would be at least another 2 years from that before you could start the construction of a new structure, and that structure would take considerably longer, probably 3 years probably at a minimum, and maybe 4 or 5.
Interesting discussion. There will be a performance venue, whether it's the current Keller Auditorium or some other venue. Your argument is that it should be the current Keller.
Well, we really think that another facility would be wonderful. It shouldn't be a replacement for the Keller.
All right. Thank you very much. Scott Andrews of Halpern Landscape Conservancy. We appreciate you joining us on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you.